All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to make a phone call like fast. Oh fuck. Look, I knew what I wanted to do. All right, y'all. We back in here. So yeah, man. So I mean, people are gonna have their opinions, and a lot of y'all gotta be a little bit more fluid and dynamic. And one thing that I want you all to understand is that at the end of the day, the um the environment is moving in the proper direction. What direction is that? Yeah, my bad, Pharaoh. I had to end it real quick. I forgot about your donation. I didn't even see it. I'll catch your donation and then announce it later. But I appreciate the $10 donation. So my thing is, what y'all got? What is that? It's not about being pro men or pro woman. It's really about the natural order of things. That's really what it's about. It's not about, shit that favors necessarily men or women. It's about people getting a true return on investment. And the reality is, a lot of why men get in the situation they get into is really because men are still programmed to basically give the store away without asking for shit. Even when you look at shit like time, like, for instance, you got women talking about, well, men don't want to approach them and all that. Well, these are the same women, when they say men don't want to approach them, they're talking about the men they want. Because if you're a man that they don't want you and you approach them, now they're gonna play this catcalling bullshit. So it's always double-sided shit. And the goal as to what we do is to really minimize that. That's what the goal is. You said somebody said Boyce Watkins go red pill, it's gone like the whole joint of NW. Oh, that's funny. Boyce Watkins is never gonna go red pill because Boyce Watkins' problem is the same. It's interesting because the irony of Boyce Watkins is the same problem that he talks about. The same the same problem that Boyce Watkins started his business for, which is to deal with the fact that, he has to submit financially to a quote unquote white supremacist system. When it comes to him being a part of the go along, get along game, he did the same thing, except he did it through gender rather than race. The problem that a lot of black men have is a lot of black men don't know how to create their own economy, even independent of their women. Their economy a black economy is built mainly around the black consumer class. Black female and black women spend a hell of a lot more money than black men because women spend more money than men in general, and unfortunately a lot of black men hate on other black men. Kevin Samuels is what you get when that's not true, and that's scaled up. So that's not necessarily an anomaly. But if you notice, it's like a core group of guys that are constantly supporting Kevin. I mean, that's just what it is. And when you look at dudes, like when you look at all these other guys, I mean, it's at least 50-50, and really it's probably like 70-30 as far as the money's coming from the women. That just is what it is. So market forces are going to do what market forces do. But see, they'll never tell you that. That's why, like, somebody like Phil from the Advice Show was so worried about that white wife shit. And see, the problem is they don't do a good job really building around that because it's not like they plan necessarily on being successful, but that's just what it is. And this is why women can be so, black women can just act like what they act like, because really dudes still have to do shit at the pleasure of them. And they don't build their economics around that. Or they don't do it like, when you do, it's the same dynamic that a lot of black men have with white folks. But see, at that point, and the truth is never going to really come out of that, because women are always going to try to protect the status quo and make only adjustments that benefit them. That's just the natural shit. Yeah, Professor Black Truth. Yeah, and Professor Black Truth will jam the knife every once in a while when it comes to women, but for the most part, either at best they don't talk about it. At worst, they'll do like some goofy shit. And honestly, it's a lot of things that Boyce says that he doesn't have to say, that he goes out of his way to say. Like he didn't have to say you might not love the black community if you're not willing to date single mothers. Well, how about black women loving the black community enough to actually not at the very least not have babies? How the fuck are you at 60? Think about it. I want you all to really think about this for a second. How are you statistically the highest percentage of single mothers, but at the same time, only 6% of 6% of the population would have the highest abortion rate by count? Make that make sense. But then you're the Queen Earth Mother Goddess that loves their men more than any other group of women. That doesn't make sense. But you would never hear boys say, if you love the community, you won't have an abortion. You'll never hear boys say, if you love the community, you won't keep that child from his father. Shahrazad Ali has at least said that. Hell, has Boyce Watkins even ever interviewed Shahrazad Ali? So it's so obvious. The problem is it's just so obvious now. And the reality is what we're dealing with today is you have an influx of new eyeballs. So you have people that want to reset the conversation. There's men that want it, like I said before in the other stream. People have their own reasons why they want to do that. And I don't begrudge any of them, but what I do say is the truth is gonna be told. And I'm always gonna be loyal to what the truth is. And if I ain't gonna tell the truth, I'm just not gonna say shit. That just is what it is. And so I'm cool. I mean, the Lapeep show is a good show. I would love Six Goddess to be on there because I'm gonna tell you something. If she gets on there, a lot of what she said, every time she'll slip up. Like a lot of them keep saying, "Oh, you need to replace K with Six." I'm like, yo, Six is gonna agree with K a lot more than you all think. Six is gonna be in between. Um, 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 what's her name? What's her name? I forget what her name is, but the chick that got kicked off, and then Kay, she's gonna be in between. Well, I mean, what I don't know who's these haters, but because first of all, there's a lot of black Sandman ain't stupid. There's a lot of black people there's a lot of black men that listen to Sandman, and they know them black men are real extra sensitive to any slick shit that may come out of their mouth. And Sandman has put a lot of work in his channel, and he's not gonna lose it just because some motherfuckers are whining. Because they're gonna be like, why the fuck are you listening to them anyway? Because most of them niggas don't. Most of the manosphere, black manosphere, don't even be fucking with white women like that. Not like that. Yeah, Tawana. What's up, Michael Ross? Appreciate the $10. She's in between those two. She's literally a mix, like as far as her style. But so when she say little shit, like I would love for her, think about it. Like I would love for her to say some shit like, well, the name needs to go in the mother's name on that show. All them niggas would tell her, even Chicago Rilla wouldn't be able to co-sign that shit. And I think she needs to hear that shit, hear how dumb some of the things she says is. And I think that's what her biggest issue is. Her biggest issue is she's one of these chicks where she likes to say, okay, I look better than you and you're short or you're this or you're that. I'm not trying to have sex with you, so therefore what you say don't matter. But I'm like, yo, that'll work for you, but let's keep it real. A community ain't built by that. Because a community ain't built by just niggas that y'all want to fuck, which is why y'all are in the situation you all are in. And even Obsidian would completely agree with that. I'm sorry. 6 foot niggas You know, if you look at any community, that these women want to compare black men to. That the motherfuckers that's actually building the community is not necessarily the motherfuckers that all the women want to have sex with. But that never dawns on black women. That never dawns on black women. It never dawns on them that that's true for the Jewish community. The age, like y'all don't want to sleep with none of them Asian motherfuckers, but y'all want to compare black men to them. Even a lot of them white boys don't be wanting to sleep with like that, not on a long term. Like Indians, all these people that got better, quote unquote, better communities than you, or that y'all looking and y'all envious of, the people that actually build the community are not necessarily the people that like it's not the same. And that never dawns on black women. That never dawns on them. And then here's my thing. I would not care who they dealt with if they didn't try to then piggyback and then turn around. If they didn't then try to piggyback and turn around and then in their 30s and 40s try to come back and get the very dudes that they denied. That's like the biggest thing with me. It's like, look, you all picked who you pick. You picked who you pick. Dang, man, I'm like getting lost in this bitch. You picked who you picked, and that's cool. You have every right to pick it. That is your right for whatever reason you want it. So you don't get to then have, Roger did a thing called second chance. You don't get to have second chance, third chances. But that's what they want. They want unlimited chances. And that's not fair to the women that actually did the right thing. And that's also not fair to the dudes that put themselves in the position they need to put in. And this is why, I tend to rail against things like Black Love, because those are ideas that are designed to basically put men in a magical subjective state. And it's not about anger. See, this is why black people, like even in that chat with Anton and all them dudes talk about, yeah, man, a man with confidence, a man with this, a man with that, these lames, like the niggas need to stop falling for that shit. They really need to stop doing that. Niggas are lame, niggas are this, because that's carnal behavior. That's black men basically sexually politicking and playing Highlander. And then y'all wonder why niggas that don't have kids give literally no fucks about you niggas that are crying about child support. Y'all wonder why dudes are like, yeah, that's fucked up, but that sounds like that's a person. And I got respect for dudes like Mr. Palmer and the work they do. But y'all wonder why niggas don't give a fuck. Why they're very indifferent to you all's kind of plight. Because they're like, nigga, you knew what the game was and you still play. And you be one of these very niggas trying to tell somebody about, niggas are lame. Okay, well, you're a lame in that child support court crying because that bitch is jamming your ass up. Now you're a lame. So why don't you alpha your ass through that shit? If it's really you an alpha and she picked you because you were the best nigga, well, why don't you tell that to that judge? She just wanted a baby by you, so that means you was that dude. Well, be that dude now. I'm not saying that to be an asshole, but be that. And so when black people come back, it's retarded. Be that dude now. Be that dude you supposed to always was. Stop getting mad at dudes. Dudes can lead a country. Dudes can do what they want. You're mad because you can't handle it. Because you trapped. Because that same bitch that said you were that nigga is the same bitch that got that collar on your ass to where you can't do shit. Some of y'all can't even get a license because that bitch jamming your ass up. Now that was that same bitch that you was that nigga and you let her and you got your chest puffed up on. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And so when I hear black men even say that dumb shit, or that's high school talk. Where people start looking at certain features, like let me tell you something. If you're fat, that is a commentary on your values. I've always been in shape, but I'm just saying when you're obese like that, I mean, you gotta look, man. If I'm fat, I'm gonna be like, yeah, man, I'm on some bullshit right now. I fell the fuck off. That's it. But I'm not gonna sit here be saying with somebody, oh, y'all didn't pick me. I'm not gonna do that. But you got women out here talking about colorism, where it's like, bitch, why don't you lose the weight first and see what happens? Why don't you stop? You know, it's like, come on, are we? And then you got women that want to take up for other women, and they want to take up for other women when they know they wrong. That's where that bonnet shit came in. And it's like, you all don't understand. Even if you don't want to date black men, that's not a good look for you. That's not a good image for you. And you wonder why nobody want to marry your ass. Think about it. This is what people don't think. Where are swirlers at? Why would a non-black men don't got to deal with that with their own race of women? That's true for Hispanic. That's true for white and Asian. So why the fuck would they fuck with you? They're like, what the fuck is on her head? But see, nobody thinks about that because everything they're doing is about going against the black man. And BGS talked about this with this constant Cleon shit. And see, what happens is black men don't got to play with y'all. And people want, and this is where Obsidian, when he wants to talk about all the best of us, he wants to try to correlate success with dating black women. He tried to do that on Keith Sigma shit. He keeps saying, well, what are the most successful black men doing? Implying that the most successful black men are dating black women. Well, I'm not saying they're not, but the reality is, again, you got to factor for how they came up. And by the time and then here's the truth: a lot of these dudes may be married to them or having babies by them. Sure, I've said that, but that's not all they fucking. So then those same dudes, now it comes to, oh, they're the cheaters. And, you know, Obsidian takes its very staunch, option on cheaters, this moralistic approach. The truth is, black women don't care about black men cheating. If they did, they wouldn't want to deal with married men to the extent that they do. Black women don't care. And so you're making arguments based on things they really don't care about. Yeah, and see, and the thing about it is, and that's why I talk about networking as far as stuff like that out of the country. And it's not about a form of divestment. It's about, look, man, I'm always gonna be in position to do me. Like, I don't need to make these like broad declarations of what the fuck I'm gonna do. In fact, I'd rather y'all not. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you, and that's one thing I've learned. Anonymity is a powerful thing. Shout out to Iron Man 3. Anonymity is a powerful thing. When people don't know how much money you got and stuff like that, but you got the ability to move with a certain type of confidence to where they like, well, this dude got too much confidence. So they don't really know. Like, they never, and I'm talking about dudes and women. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I want you to know. And that's why, and I don't have a thing to need to prove anything to anybody. Because here's the thing, that's the beauty about me being short. People are already going to form their opinions automatically. They just can't, either it's not a problem or you're going to make it very obvious it's a problem. Even when it comes to dudes trying to act like, they can flex on somebody or some shit like that. You get to find, with black people, you get to find out what they really about a lot of times. They volunteer it. And so when you got people that they'll sit there and say little shit like somebody's short or somebody's this, and it's kind of funny because if I were to sit there and say, okay, if I would sit there and say, well, I don't like dark-skinned women, they'll feel some type of way about that, or they'll feel the necessary need to say some shit. Like, women are like, oh, you're pretty for a dark skin. Well, I wouldn't be checking for you anyway. I've seen that before, not even with sex. I've seen that with other people. And it's like, at the end of the day, these are all these insecurities like popping up. Yeah, black's image is trash. And a big reason why black, and this is not, look, and O'Shea was right about the do-rag shit. But see, the difference between black men and, but the do-rag shit, same thing. Black men want to defend that shit. But black men don't be defending that shit like the women be defending that shit, defending that shit. The difference is the women are basically at a race to the bottom. Why? And it's crazy. And at the end of the day, I feel sorry for a lot of sisters because but at the end of the day, if you volunteer to be used and lied to, this is why when the dude talking about all these internet marketing gurus that be buying these courses, I'm like, you never consider that these people know what they're doing. They're just dumb. You never consider that. And he never he's like, well, you know, you could buy this product. It doesn't matter if the product's got 54 hours. The problem is it ain't made by the dude that I like, period. That's how a lot of people think. And a lot of people don't really understand that. They don't understand that no matter what you do, people are going to do what they're going to do. And stop making them victims. You know? Oh, well, you know, masculine men and masculine women. Okay, well, where are all these fucking masculine men that need to build the fucking community? Since that's the metric, you know, since masculine men are like the perfect men, where are they at? Where's all these feminine women? Where are all these people? Like, where are all these fucking people? If we gonna just pretend like, okay, well, there's this perfect community where there's no problems and everybody got issues on both sides. Okay, show me that community. Show me what that looks like. Show me these masculine men that are building communities that all these black females are having kids with. Show that to me. Like in a collective group, not one-offs. Show me that. What I see is a whole bunch of females regretting what they picked, and then they want somebody else to come and clean their shit up. And they want to sit there. That's what I see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too short to see the vantage point. That's possible. That's very possible. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. Nigga, if somebody wear a do-rag to a job interview, I'm gonna slap the shit out of them. I'm sorry. We gonna have to fight. Shout out to Charles Faulkner. Niggas be like, oh, well, you know. Well, the problem is you ain't a masculine man. You know what? All right, man. I got you. Let me pull Charles up here. You tell him that shit. So if it's a dude that's a certified masculine man that you need, okay, hey, I am not too good to tag somebody else in. That's the beauty of the manosphere. Let me tag Charles in. Now you tell Charles that shit. Tell Charles what you told me. Well, what did you say? You said that you should give the last, if you're a woman, you should give the last name, your last name to your son, to your child. That's what you should do. So you tell Charles that, and since he's been in the military, he's a police officer in the damn Baltimore. So we ain't talking about no easy police job. Has a kid, raises kid, leaders of young boys, leaders of men. So I got you covered. Cause I don't gotta be the nigga to tell you what the fuck is up. I don't care. I'll say it, but I don't have to say it. We got plenty of people in the manosphere. Oh, I don't have kids, so I can't speak on it. I got you. Oh, I'm not tall enough. I got you. Oh, I'm not married. I got you. Oh, I'm not showing the bitches that I'm fucking, and it's clear, and it's not necessarily proven that I get pussy. I got you. I got somebody for you, and chances are I got somebody that's gonna say the shit more harsh than probably what the fuck I'ma say. That's the beauty of the manosphere. All these isms that people like to put in front of shit. We got something. We got somebody for that's demonstrated. They'll say the same shit. Somebody needs to be a millionaire. I got Dennis Sperling. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got dudes that can speak on that. So that's why I've never, like, when people like to say stupid shit like, oh, well, your voice is pitched, or oh, this, or oh, that. Like I said, I don't got nothing to prove. We got plenty of people in the man. We got dude, oh, well, you're not married. We got dudes that are married. Oh, well, you ain't got no daughters. You don't. We got niggas that got nothing but daughters. Shout out to Black Guru. Shout out to BGS. I didn't know BGS had two daughters and a son. Like, so we got to, oh, you're not old enough, you're not pro black enough. Yeah, you're not academically accredited. Dr. Tiasan Johnson, Ronald Neal, Green Gorilla, and we got Dr. Tommy Curry, only adjacent. We got Melody too. Oh well, it's not from a woman's perspective. Crimson Cure. Melly, we got people, man. Like no matter what angle you want to say to try to dodge the bullshit, that bullet is I'm hitting the target. It's like the Death Star, and they try to create all these like lasers to keep that torpedo from hitting. It's hitting. It's hitting. It's hitting. It don't matter what y'all say. Cause y'all have said y'all and see, and the crazy part is when you look at how much black people are so afraid of the truth, like they are petrified of the people are petrified. Look, man, I want somebody to disprove the gynocracy. I have no problem putting that shit, exposing that shit if you can take it out. They can't. They can't. So what they do is they just avoid it. And that's why I told you ultimately those interactions are a positive thing. Because certain questions, like Anton is going to ask certain questions. Because if you actually look at what Anton says on marriage, Anton talks about betting marriage. Anton is not about dudes getting with. He is not about that. That is not what he's about. He's about doing the shit the right way. And if you childless, he's about getting return on investment. Like I keep telling y'all, we all agree that you should be doing it before you 30. Everybody agrees that, even the pro marriage guys. So again, there a lot of the people that want to hide behind it, or they want to try to help other women along. So when they decide to get some act right, there is a concept of being too late. I mean, I felt bad for that chick. That chick was 44 years old and she was very attractive. It's too late. Like, as far as getting married, having kids, doing it the traditional route, that's not happening. She can get fucked, probably get fucked well. But a lot of these women gonna wind up like these retired porn stars. You know, they can get up to you because they know how to keep their body right or whatever, or maybe they fucked themselves up too much. They can get up to maybe 52, 53 before they really jam out. That's how and that is what it is. And I'm not even one to be like, I don't even agree that dudes can just get married anytime. Like, I don't think dudes should be really trying to get married at 50. I don't agree with that. Now, if you want to do that, that's your personal choice. I'm talking about, but I don't think dudes got all the time in the world either. Because at the end of the day, there's no point in getting married unless you're gonna have kids. You have kids 20 years. So really, when you're 40, 41, you're really at the top of that. When you're at 35, you're really on the clock. That's if you're gonna agree with it, which I'm not necessarily saying that, but I'm just talking about even within the context of that argument. So I'm not even of the mind, because then you look at dudes on the front end. If they older and they get with younger women, what happens? Even if they stay with them, dudes die off. What's gonna happen with your buds if you're not really thinking about it? This is when thinking about that stuff matters. And a lot of them dudes are not really trying to think about that, because the closer you get, the older you get, like especially when you over the hump like that, the closer that shit is extra, extra, extra real to your ass. So when people, I mean, shout out to Glendon, but when Glendon be saying, you know, I could do this, I could do that. I mean, I get it, man, but I don't agree with that. And I try to think about that like right now, because I'm 34, I'll be 35 in 5 months. So folks, black people have to have a sense of urgency. And that's like the problem. We as a people don't have a sense of urgency. We really don't. We don't have a sense of urgency. That's really what the problem is. And that's one thing why I do support Kevin. It's like there's no sense of urgency. That's the issue. Everybody's in this state of bullshit. They want to be told it ain't too late. Well, I'm gonna keep it real. Some of y'all need to move like it's too late. Somebody needs to move. You need to move with a certain level of desperation. And see, as black people, we so busy on trying to pretend like, you know, um, especially the women. Oh well, it ain't that. They told themselves the same story for so long that they can't pick up another book. And at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna really move them, and then you got dudes, it's like they don't want to let go, and it's like you don't have to. But I'm like, if you ain't letting go, you might as well go all in. You might as well accept them on their terms rather than sitting here and trying to hold out. And then hope, because here's the thing: as soon as they quote unquote come to the table, and then pretend like they giving you some shit, and then you jump on that like some thirsty motherfucker, guess what? They're gonna retreat to to exactly what they were. That's what they're gonna retreat to. And y'all niggas gonna wind up, and even though that chick is not black, y'all gonna wind up like Scottie fucking Pippen. That's what, or y'all gonna wind up like Stephen J. Like y'all gotta make high levels of income because y'all gotta maintain the shit. But like that's and it is what it is. Yeah, that's why Nicole Ali. My bad, Charles. Yeah, Nicole and Dunbar. Them and Anwar Dunbar. Yeah. So I mean, it don't matter. Professional dudes, even tradesmen. You gotta judge it like it don't matter. Most of us are with it don't matter. No matter what, we got that covered. The RXO, with everything that's occurring in the world as of now, no, one would think everyone would have a sense of urgency in terms of, they don't. They don't. What people are trying to do, see, the problem is I call it the musical chairs effect, where you gotta, I'm not saying you gotta move with desperation, but you gotta move where when you hear that sound, you're ready to move like a hawk. What you got people doing is they think they too good to play the game. And the difference between black men is black men, look, man, black men don't have no protection. So black men don't come in it with expectation of protections. So when people try to say, well, men and women, no, they're not the same. And see, like that's like white men saying that black men and white men are the same. No, we're not. Even in this situation, no, we're not. It's that much of a difference between black men and black women. It is. There are certain things that black women have access to that black men just don't. And it is what it is. But see, the problem is they have a lot more they can lose. And they don't think about that until it happens. This is why, if you don't believe me, this is why, what did BGS say? And BGS has seen this happen before in the 80s. And that's crazy how, like, when he was younger, he saw that. And then he's seeing that now with women selling that pussy. Like, you see what OnlyFans is doing. OnlyFans is setting women up to where that they're used to it. So it's not that big of a step doing the real thing. And women are gonna try that game where they're gonna play like they not willing to pay. Like all these women, oh, you a lame if you pay and all that. Like at the end of the day, people can say shit. It's just like that universal income. You have people to say shit, but when that government start giving them stimulus check, what they start doing? You didn't see people shaming people for taking that money. They were like, yeah, stimmies. Like what people do in the real world, in the real actual world, is not the same as when people talk that shit. Georgia boy, so yeah, he said, how is all this truth affecting your life in a positive way? First of all, as far as me personally, a lot of this shit, I didn't have to become aware of it because I was always aware of a lot of this shit. Like a lot of this shit, I was always aware of. I was already aware of. Like when it comes to like where the economy and all that was going, I knew that years ago because I was in certain industries that talked about that stuff. That's number one. Number two, I get emails from plenty of guys that basically, number one, they say it helps their mental health because it lets them know they're not crazy. And so they don't have to worry about it as much because they know there's something out here that other dudes are thinking, even if they don't say it in real life. I mean, it was another dude on Roger Report that was asking that same question. He talked about something like men. Like he was asking like in a tertiary way. So again, just because and the problem is Georgia Boy, I've had you pegged as soon as you said that story about how you were the dude that people always look to because you are a bigger dude. What you need to understand is you need to understand that your experience is not really what necessarily the experience is. And so the problem is you can't really look outside of that. It's kind of like me being light skinned and me be saying I can't understand a dark skinned dude's experience. So if y'all get fucked up by the police, well, it must be something you did. That's literally what you do. You do that. Or it's an experience of a dude, somebody that's got money or comes from money, and you're trying to understand black people. You can't. Not really. And it's better if you just accept that you can't. So because it's like if you'll be over here and then you'll say, oh, well, all is true for all of this, and you always want to be contrarian, but it's like you always over here. And my thing is, if I think somebody is full of shit, or I think a group is full of shit, I'm not around that group. That's why if you notice, I don't pop everywhere in the manosphere. Not necessarily because I think they're full of shit, but that's just not for me. I leave it alone. Georgia Boy has what I call cool kid syndrome. What is cool kid syndrome? Cool kid syndrome is in the black community is when black folks, either because they had genetic currency or whatever, they got shit easy when it comes. I'm not talking about everything, but I'm talking when it comes to things like women and stuff like that. So they assume they got it easy, not because of certain advantages they had, but because essentially who they were. And this is why you have dudes that are always trying to prove or show that they are better than somebody, and that's why they got it's almost like some survival skill shit. And so you always come being like an antagonist to what somebody's trying to say. And I don't even think you really understand why at the end of the day. I really don't think. And it's the same thing that what Six does. Six is oh, well, you're short, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, that ain't even the real you. Like, like, like everybody don't know your background. Everybody don't know what you did. Everybody don't know how you're built and what you really look like when you or what you may look like if you ain't got those advantages. At least with Georgia Boy, that shit is just what he was gifted you genetically. That's who he is. Versus, a lot of these women, they want to get their body done and get brand new. They want to get all his hair and get brand new. I mean, let's just keep that at 100. And then people will say, well, all this true. How's it helping you? Well, you know what? You the one over here. And so then the argument becomes, oh, well, we need to help these brothers before they get corrupted and fucked up by listening to the quote unquote big bad manosphere. Well, shit, if you think to get married is going to help them out, go ahead and sell that dream to them. But just be ready to deal with the consequences when they come to like, hey. And it's crazy because to be honest with you, marriage fucks black men up a hell of a lot more than anything that we say. Men, and people don't really, and people never really think about that. People never think about if you actually look at dudes that are getting married and dudes that are how many women are just bolted on divorce and all that, breaking up families. That's some real shit that happens. And it happens and it's way more less successful than is successful. What's the solution? I already said it. The laws are out of date. If the women really want to get married, they fix the laws. They don't really want to get married like that. CJ Rich I will give Jason Black mad credit for that because that is something unique to him. Because a lot of these women, they are side chicks. That's what they are because that's what they chose to be. That's not somebody telling them that. They chose to live that life. And there's nothing, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with being a side chick. You may become a spinster, you may become a single mother, and it is what it is. But hey, at the end of the day, that's the life you chose. I don't understand what the problem is. But see, it is a problem when everybody wants it all. She don't. So she got past so that chick got past somebody squirting her up. Dude, the American black women can get dick down well by on point black men, but even they don't believe it. They else with their view of the world in their minds. Only knuckleheads can lay down good pipe. Yeah, they do believe that. And then what's crazy is, what I find funny is that black women will say certain things, but it's like, you know, all other women don't view shit the way you view shit. Mm. And that's why a lot of them are baffled by how can other men want you when I don't want you? And the only funny. And that's another thing too. Black people always got to lean to, well, it must be you're antisocial because you wouldn't be saying this. Okay, well then that by that definition, the black community, if you're antisocial or anti something, that means the majority of the thing that you're quote unquote preaching against is actually on point, and you're the anomaly. But nobody will sit here and say the black community is where it should be. Nobody will say that. But if you speak against it and speak against the culture that drives it, there's something wrong with you. And a lot of black people feel that way, black men included. Georgia boy, nobody's saying that. But the reality is black men's problem is not that they're too again that they think every woman's out to get them. Black men's problem is the opposite. Black men are too trusting, which is why they get fucked all the time. Black men are more trusting to women than any other race. So you come here thinking, oh well, we're too anti this, when in actuality, there's plenty of dudes in this space that's married. So I ask you the question: do you even understand what the real problem is in the observable world, or have you been married so long you really don't know? And again, is don't your wife make more than you? So by definition, you're inoculated just off that, which is not necessarily going to be a situation every dude's going to wind up in. Exactly. And you have no idea how much that does for somebody's mental well-being, even if they're not in this space absorbing this content. Them just knowing it's there is enough for a lot of dudes, and I don't think y'all really understand that. And I don't speak on doom. I don't necessarily speak on doom and gloom. I tell you where the trends are, and I've been in this motherfucker for like 8 years, and I can tell you everything that we talked about has happened, is happening, and has happened. So you don't have to believe it, but that don't mean nothing. Everything, if you go back 4, 5, 6 years, everything we talked about has happened in spades. And it's happened actually a lot faster than we thought it would happen. We're about 6, 7 years ahead of where ahead of time. So I mean, you don't gotta believe shit. It ain't about doom and gloom. Just because you can't like override what we're saying, so you just say, I just choose to believe. Hey, and I mean, you got a person, your personal, and honestly, Georgia boy, your personal situation is fine. So you should be good. But you got to understand a lot of the doom and gloom really has to do with people's inaction. People complain about shit, but when it comes down to it, they accept the very thing they complain about. That's really what's going on. And what you see is what I wanted to do in this space is run up to the limit and see, okay, where is the actual point where people will not go any further? Where is that point? And I found it. I've generally found that point. And you see it with Kevin too, with how they push back. There's nothing that Kevin says is absolutely not true, or they cannot be proven correct. But they don't want to believe it, so they emotionally react. No, dudes need to help themselves. The problem is not marriage. The problem is men stepping in a marriage unprepared. Man, that's Gabe. I don't believe that because the problem. I didn't say the problem was marriage institution. I said the problem is the laws that are wrapped around it. At the end of the day, a prenup doesn't have to be honored. Shit don't gotta be honored. That shit is subject to what they want it, depending on the state. And all you need to look at is 1/4 married, because part of being prepared, anybody that will tell you a group is 1/4 married and they trigger divorce is 80% the rate. Even somebody that's marriage minded would say that group is not that group shouldn't be considered for marriage. It would be a waste of time. So a part of it is the culture. You got a lot of different stuff. Like I said before, not like with the black population, you got the abortion rate, then you got the child support rate, which basically took a lot of dudes out the market. Then you got the fourth industrial complex. But see, people don't think about it. So people want to say, well, the problem is not marriage. The problem is unprepared. I'm sorry, there is no level of preparation that you can have for a chick just changing up on you. And even Black Guru said that. He said that the other night. There is no amount of preparation you can have for that because the laws are fucked up. The laws are draconian in the United States. It just is. It just is. And so, like I said, I've always said the laws need to be updated. And quite frankly, the other thing you're dealing with too is a lot of women don't even want to get married. And that number's not going up, that number's going down. They don't want to really get married for what marriage is actually for. And it's not so much doom and gloom, it's that the pendulum shift. Just like when BGS talks about like just like the middle class. I remember when Lou Dobbs all the time used to talk about what's going on with the middle class. We're like 10, 15 years past that now. That was like in 2005. We're like what? We're like at least 15 years, like at least like 12 years past that. And now where we are. You see it. I remember when Citizens United was passed. Like, so it's not about doom and gloom. The problem is y'all like to live in this fantasy land. And this is why a lot of people ain't necessarily prepared for change because they just assume shit gonna stay the same. And this is why black people are always caught behind. For instance, if Jason Black would have did, I remember when Gentrify came out. If Jason Black would have did that like 10 years, like maybe 10 years ago, black people were always doom and gloom, it's doom and gloom. But what do you see with these cities? What do you see in real time? It's not doom and gloom. Folks are just saying what's going on, and they're giving you a projection based on what they see and experience. And people just don't want to hear that because they feel bad. And for people like that, for two things, Gabe and Georgia Boy, it's very clear y'all are prepared for y'all own shit. Y'all got y'all shit together. Good for you. So y'all can have the luxury of doing that because y'all own personal stuff is together. I get it. That's cool. But that's not most people. Most people, they depend, it's just like when people live paycheck by paycheck. They depend on certain things because it literally hurts their mind to think of the alternative. Because what's the alternative? Until that you lose that damn job. Now you're stressing. Now here's where the scamming starts. Here's where all of the dope dealing. See, because you put yourself in that situation, not y'all, but I'm talking about people in general. Most people are not you. Most black people are not you too. They're not. So yeah, y'all can say that, and that's cool. But most people ain't got the foresight that y'all got. And that's what I'm dealing in. I'm dealing in the majority. I'm not dealing in the minority. Same thing with Anton. Got money. I'm not dealing with the minority. No, Georgia Boy don't want black men to be black woman slave. I know different sectors too. I'm in different sectors. Understand something like the internet marketing, internet business, the network marketing sector. When you look at how black people deal with each other, completely different dynamic and vibe. Even the entertainment geekdom sector is completely different. There's different sectors on Black YouTube. Exactly. Birth rates. I mean, it's just like if people like you see it. And y'all don't never hear me tell y'all. I always say there is no one size fits all solution because there isn't. I don't pretend to give you. I give you all options, but I don't sit there and tell you this is the solution. I don't tell y'all the solution is necessarily to date out. I say it depends on what you want. I don't say the solution is necessarily intercultural dating. The power is in the options. The power is not in you saying one thing is strong over the other. I mean, like if you really want to dumb it down to it's the dudes can't provide that. Like first of all, even people, BGS and Kevin will tell you, married like dudes didn't have to have money to get married in the past. That's some new shit. So that shit's not valid. Throughout the history of marriage, marriage had nothing to do with your ability to have money. That's bull. That in and of itself is bullshit. Not in America in the industrial age. So I mean, we come up with these little excuses. And see, that's what I'm saying. We come up with these little excuses to basically justify why shit is the way it is. And I'm like, nigga, if you really think that's what it's gonna be, because I mean, because you would think that's not gonna solve nothing. It's really not. Because then one got to ask you, why do women feel the need to have babies by dudes that ain't got no money? They are from a lot of them are because you know what? Because the West Coast is dating environment is a motherfucker. And so I already know what's generally going to happen. What's going to happen is two possibilities. One, if this shit kind of really goes all the way, which I don't know if it will, black people are going to lose their minds. A lot of people are going to do some crazy stuff from a mental standpoint. If too much of this like red pill talk gets out, it's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be crazy because they're too plugged into social media. And I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about men too. Because the more this red pill stuff gets more into the like the upper echelons of social media, the more angrier women are gonna get. And black men have this thing that when their women are angry, they are emotionally upset. A lot of dudes. Um, So I already know that's what's gonna go down. That's the first thing. And the second possibility is gonna be that black people just get to a point where they just get tone deaf because they just can't remember like in certain like Star Wars stories where they cut themselves off from the force because the pain is so great because they're force sensitive that they might die. That's what I think certain people are gonna do is they're just gonna get tone deaf and they're gonna quadruple down into the dumb shit. And if that happens, as far as I'm concerned, it is over because they're never going to come out of that. They're just not going to talk about it because it's just too painful. So you'll have people living in these artificial, like WandaVision realities And you know, that's when you know, yeah, it's over. What's up, Michael Neal? Appreciate it. So again, and that's why I don't even argue with people when it comes to marriage. Because at the end of the day, I know what I'm gonna do, regardless of what decision I choose to do. So I'm not, you know, Pete. I think what the issue becomes is people at the end of the day, and I tell y'all this all the time: if people want to get married, they're gonna get married. It doesn't matter what you tell them. And see, that's the irony because Gabe A was talking about that not being prepared, and that's really how a lot of dudes don't get prepared. But a lot of dudes they just gonna have to figure it out on their own because they're just not gonna hear it because it's too many thoughts saying, "Oh, but them niggas lame, them niggas don't get pussy. Look, them niggas don't show their face. Look, they must hate women. They must be gay." Like that's the thoughts that are in these dudes' head. Absolutely. I'm about to end this live stream. So if you start it, I'll forward these people to you. I'll give you like 5 minutes. Exactly. So you see these things in the world. Even when BGS told me that Colombia had 85% single motherhood, like people don't really believe it. Damn, man, Brooklyn is beating them 80 to man, they getting their ass whooped. Man, they getting their ass whooped. I mean, look, hey, but like I said, Georgia boy, you're in a good position. Good for you. But a lot of these dudes, it ain't even so much about marriage, but how they approach it is retarded. Like I know a couple of African dudes. They want to think the way they want to think. Talking about, well, man, it's that you dudes can't control your women, blah blah. Okay, and then they got with them, and they dumbass got with women that are older than them, and then they quiet because as soon as they got a baby out of them, they started wilding out. Now I won't say it was. I won't say it was over at the first quarter. It might have been over at the first half though. I recorded it though, nigga. I feel, man. Yeah, that's what. Shit. Yeah. So if you start it, I'm only keeping this up like 5, 6 more minutes though. No, I agree with that, Georgia boy. But at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of pressures. Like this is what people don't understand too, and this is why I keep saying with you and Gabe, y'all act like this shit hurts y'all. Like the reality is, a lot of dudes saying this shit that makes women think twice for doing a lot of dumb shit that they do. That makes women think twice before telling a nigga no that actually does want to marry a woman. That makes a woman think twice before necessarily leaving a dude over some petty bullshit. But see, people don't see that. People see that, oh man, I don't want these brothers to hear you niggas, and then they decide they don't want to get married, so they leave that woman they love them. Man, please get the fuck out of here. That shit ain't happening. Like that's the shit that people like to think. This shit makes women have to work harder, and that's exactly what you want it to be, because they don't appreciate shit. All right, Charles, hold on. Appreciate that, man. Hey, yo, make sure y'all join. Make sure y'all subscribe to Charles and y'all join his stream. Cause Charles be giving these women that work too, and they ain't got nothing they can fucking say. So that's the link. He ain't got it loaded. He got it loaded, but he ain't turned it on yet, man. They got they ass whooped, yo. Like, damn, y'all got y'all ass. I feel bad for Giannis. Cause not Giannis is kind of getting that he ain't ADOS treatment. The niggas be talking hella shit. Appreciate that. See, TJ 17. I can't stand the Nets, but I think the win it. I don't know. I don't know if they win it at all. I don't know that. You can't stand the Nets. I mean, I want Harden to get his first ring. Did Harden get a ring yet? I want Harden to get a ring. I don't have the ability to mod up right now. All right, I'll keep that in mind, Chief BD. Let me make sure I screenshot your oh my god, my face. Oh my god. Anyway, I got you screenshot though. So I'll make sure I add it. But I don't have the ability to mod you up because I'm on StreamYard on my phone. And that's really what it is. A lot of these niggas that had nothing to say, if motherfuckers was gassing up marriage, lying, basically making it seem like marriage is all cakes and rainbows. You ain't hear nothing out of these niggas because they be like, well, you know what? That's for the good of the community and that's for their own good ultimately. They would keep their mouth real quiet. And they don't even see the fact that by us talking this shit, this actually makes it harder on women. So the reality is women have to try a lot harder. So they'll appreciate shit more. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to drop this link one more time. Charles be keeping it lit, yo. Like for real. Especially like Charles, especially when he be having females on there. No, I commented on it a little bit, good man, but not really. I saw they almost had 1,000. Sandman was throwing some shade. It don't matter. I mean, it ain't go like, dude. I ain't listened to a Sandman video in a long time. What I would say to Sandman is, them motherfuckers need to stop copying our shit. That's what they need to do. I don't know. Yeah, you right. You right. You right. I love the memes when they be having Future look up from above. That shit is bullshit. And keep in mind, they got their ass beat without Harden. I want y'all to understand that. You know what the Brooklyn niggas go do, right? If Brooklyn win it all, what y'all think they go do? They go book a flight to the Dominican Republic and they go finish it off. Yeah, man, we fucked that shit up. Let's finish it off. We gonna trick that shit so bad, it's over. We about to ruin it. Man, Sandman need to stay. I mean, look, I like Sandman generally, but if Sandman throwing low key shade, he needs to stay his ass in Canada. Worry about that fucking socialism. This nigga's always throwing low key like, and it's crazy because it's like we don't even. It's like yo, we don't even talk about y'all like that. Like we really don't. We don't even really talk about a lot of the black channels that really be fucking with y'all like that. So I don't even know why y'all give a fuck about what we doing. Technically, having so if Kevin gets a mill, technically the Manosphere, we got the first ring. We got the first nigga at $1 million, right? Right? We got the first ring. What did Shaq say? Rings. Rings. How many you got? Like, Shaq, stop. He has none. He has none. Rings. Like, yeah. So we gonna have one in our favor. How many rings? How many million folks they got? Jason Capital in it. Nope, not Jason. They don't count. Riggs. Yeah, because you know Blake Griffin won a ring too. Man, I don't even know why y'all niggas listen to Sandman like that. I said last time I saw Sandman was when he did that interview with Coach Greg Adams, and he still didn't show his face. See, man, when them motherfuckers don't show their face, nobody say nothing. But like over here, why don't y'all show your face? Why did y'all show your face? See my whiteboard. That's why I be doing that teaching, yo. You can hit a damn spray right here. I'd be like, see, you niggas talking about this shit don't work. But what have you done? What work have you done? How many people have you called? None. See, it ain't that it don't work, nigga. You don't work. It ain't that it's a scam. You a fucking scam. And you're a fucking loser too. Stop being afraid of that list. Gave y'all leads for free and y'all didn't call them. Nigga, I'm gonna start calling them, then you gonna get mad. That nigga gave me the free leads that I didn't pay for, and then he called and that nigga's a scammer. That nigga's scamming, yo. He finessed me. He finessed me. You be like, you stupid motherfuckers. I know how to sell so good. I get people to give me money just for running my mouth. If you ever heard of the black man, I'll be telling them about this space. Shit, y'all niggas ain't shit. I literally got the shit handmade. Literally do this, do this, do this. Fuck. Y'all better not call me unless y'all don't even got a call. Anyway, I be talking that shit. Nah, that ain't trigonometry. What that is that's 3 ways of generating leads. So what this is really like a sales pipeline. That's really what that is. So like the triangle, I'm sorry, because I got like my oh god. The triangle like at the top is what the fuck is that? Yeah, that's social media marketing. So how to basically talk to people on social media, the process for that. Calls, warm marketing, all of that push to an email autoresponder up there teaches you how to and that's something with me making my blog, my website, because I'm making a training center. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. You see the lines? Y'all see the line? Hold on. Look, hold on. It's hard. Y'all, man, hold on. Let me move this. Y'all see the lines? You see the plus in between? I'm proud of myself because I'm not the handiest nigga. I'm not. Um, I took 4 other whiteboards from Lowe's because them whiteboards are like $300, and I said, okay, let me see if I can do this cheaper. Not because I don't want to pay for it, but because I wanted to see if I could like make a video about it. And I was looking at some videos, and they had like sheet that you can cut, but I couldn't find that. So I found 4 boards, and each of those was really like $11, like $12. So all of them together was probably like $55. and then I got some command tape, and I put like 4 in between behind all of them. So command tape is y'all should know what command tape is. It's got the tape in the front and the back, and then you use like the shit that when you had the peel shoes shit like that, and then I put it together, and it's been on this wall for about 8 months, and it's only one of them is only fell once. So what this does is creates an effect like I got a really, really big whiteboard. Man, Sandman can shut the fuck up. Sandman trying to start some shit for views. I wish he would. I wish he fucking would. I'm like you really want to play that game? You really want to examine it? Let's examine y'all racist ass. Don't play. Don't play. Let's examine the fucking Proud Boy. Don't play. Dude, I'm trying to keep this open for Charles so I can get some of y'all over there. Y'all get your ass over there, man. Don't be like 150 here and like 25 over there. Don't do that. Nah, people be well, you scared to show your face. Like, shut the fuck up. Like I show and you know what the irony is? The irony is I show my face all the time on some of my other social media. Because that's part of the game. Not part. Now, sometimes I'll do a video where I'm not showing my face, but I do that for practical reasons. I don't do that because, like, oh, that nigga ugly. He in his basement. Like, shut the fuck up. MGTOW hates Sandman. I didn't know that. I mean, Sandman is MGTOW. No, I mean Sandman is like my favorite dude to go at these. I mean, black women try to come at Sandman because Sandman has checked these hoes so hard. I mean, my thing is, I don't like the issue is I know they felt some type of way when folks first left, but at the end of the day, like we stay over there, he stay over there. We don't affect him. Like his audience is not our audience. And some of our audience, more our audience listen to him than in reverse. So I think he got like 300,000 subs. So I don't even know why he mad. Now y'all got to keep in mind he might be mad at certain people. So and then so you always got to keep that in mind. Man, Sandman can shut the fuck up. He's whatever. I don't like that. That shit is as a white guy says, one of my favorite mentors, Jeff Combs, people try to seduce you. That's what that is. Honestly, it ain't nothing he got to say. It ain't nothing he got that we need. Exactly. So if anything, he need to, you want to talk about some black people, you talk about black women. Because they don't want to always talk about they the ones they gonna go to. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what they do. But yeah, man. So usually what I'll do is I can see what I like about this room the most because I got a lot of shit going on in here. I can actually move things around and see people be like, oh, but why are these wires down here? Because I don't have a set place where I want to put them. Because sometimes I got long wires, sometimes I got short wires. Like, for example, I got like these like this USB extension that goes all the way to that computer. So I got that. I got Bluetooth connection. I mean, y'all see the shit I got right there. I got a lot of different shit in this room. So I can move things around. Like even that TV, I can take that TV and if I wanted to do a background with the TV and just have it like, me behind it, I could do that. And then I got actually a green screen too. So if I wanted to, it's a lot of stuff. So I have this thing where if I really wanted to rotate it any which way, I could do that. I got this little office table. I got that screen. So I mean, shit. Well, see, it's different when you white. They cry. Got democracy off it. Anyway, y'all. All right. Some of y'all have gone to Charles, so I appreciate it. So I'm about to chill out because it is what it is. So with that being said, this is Edward. So hey, y'all, check out that video with Anton, and y'all should subscribe to Anton because Anton's got the Anton After Hours. Even if you don't like the Lafitte Show, a lot of his videos are short anyway. And he's got a good channel, dude with receipts. So definitely check it out and let me know what y'all think. Because I don't know if I'm gonna get to that till later. And check, look, I know how we feel about DJ Blab. Check out some of the videos with Kevin. Charles Faulkner. Just click on the link. So anyway, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.